Hello, and welcome to Pilgrim Lutheran Church and Schools Virtual Sunday School. This week is a very special week, and it's not just because this is the last Sunday school until August, but it's because we as a congregation are celebrating becoming an RIC church. So what does that mean to become an RIC church? Well, it means reconciled with Christ. So why would we need to reconcile with Christ? Well, we're making an affirmation statement about the people who are welcome to our church. And some of you may be asking, well, we're Pilgrim Lutheran Church and School. Don't we already welcome everyone? And the answer is yes. But the thing that we're doing differently is that we're making a statement to say it out loud and to affirm everybody who is welcome. So I will send that statement in the newsletter to the parents and caregivers today so that you can also take a look at that and explore it a little bit further as a family. In the meantime, we're going to do our reading today and then talk about the lessons that we get from this and how it applies to today's celebration. So first, you'll notice that today's reading, Jesus Calls Disciples, has many different gospels listed here. And it's slightly different than the one that's being read in worship service, but we're still touching upon Matthew 9. And the lesson is so important that it's repeated several times throughout the Bible. So let's jump in and then have a discussion. Last time, Peter shouted, "Pull!" Andrew, James, and John pulled in their fishing nets. Empty again. The men slumped in the boat. They fished all night but caught no fish. Slowly, they rowed back to shore. They felt disappointed, tired, and hungry. Jesus walked up to them and got into the boat. People had gathered on the beach to hear Jesus teach. As they floated out into the water, Jesus said, "Peter, try your net one more time." "Teacher," Peter groaned as he lowered the nets, "there are no fish here." But Peter felt a tug, and another. The fishermen struggled in the nets. Flopping fish filled the boat. "Impossible," yelled James. "A miracle," yelled Andrew. "Jesus filled our nets with fish," yelled John. Peter fell to his knees and whispered, "Leave me alone, Jesus. I don't deserve this miracle from God." "Don't be afraid," Jesus comforted. "God's miracles are for everyone. Follow me. We won't catch any more fish. We'll catch people." Peter dropped the nets, still wiggling with fish. The fishermen left the boats and followed Jesus. Jesus caught others along the way. Matthew, Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, James, Thaddeus, Simon, Judas. 12 men heard Jesus and followed him as disciples. Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Susanna, and many women followed Jesus too. So as we read that story, a couple of things jump out. There's always about three. So number one, we hear that God's miracles are for everyone. We also hear that he's not so much concerned about catching the fish as he is about catching the people and the followers to follow the word, which is a pretty good one, as we've been learning throughout the year. And also, he has men and women following him, which is really good. He's been inclusive from the beginning. So as we explore that a little bit further, and we talk about God's miracle being for everyone, and as we become an RIC church to be affirming and talking about that, I think about two of my daughter's most favorite toys. Number one, unicorn. Number two, rainbow. How many of you have actually seen a unicorn? I haven't. They're pretty unique. And so I would offer the idea that each of us as an individual is very unique, that there's nobody else on the planet who is just like you or just like me or just like your friend or anybody else. We are all individual people with vastly different differences among us. Now think about the rainbow. The rainbow comes out when? When it's sun shining after the rain. And that rainbow includes colors from the entire spectrum, all different shades of red, all different shades of green, purple. It's amazing, right? So if we think of ourselves as the unicorn, a bunch of individuals, very unique individuals, and the rainbow as our community, and we all make up the rainbow together. And that is something really exciting, that we can each be individual and still contribute to making something wonderful and beautiful that has both rain, which sometimes people are kind of like, boo, that's not so great, rain, and sunshine, which most of the time people are like, yeah, sun, we love it. And so I think it's fun to think about things that way. And so we can also think about other things that add diversity to our lives, and things that you can do at home as families. Maybe consider something like growing an herb garden. So that's something we're doing this year. And so here I've got cilantro, and it's also called coriander. It's also called Chinese parsley or dania. It has all sorts of different names, but it's still the same herb, and it still adds the same wonderful spice to many dishes. Now, of course, this is different than the flavor that's going to be added by rosemary. And even within rosemary, there's different kinds. This one's a common rosemary, or thyme. Here we go. Or another herb that is very, very different in many different ways. Some people think it's an Italian herb, but of course it's used in many different dishes, is basil. You've got sweet basil, and different colors of basil. Sometimes the colors of the leaves are purple. So all of these herbs are very different with different tastes, and they contribute differently to different dishes. So that's something that you can explore as a family, as you maybe over the summer grow your herb garden, use those herbs as you cook. Or you can even, as Chicagoans, explore other crazy ideas like the hot dog. Some people put ketchup on the hot dog and they like it. And believe it or not, outside of Chicago, sometimes people are putting chili and coleslaw and other things on their hot dog, and it tastes good. And you know what? We can say we love the person who puts ketchup on their hot dog. Yes, Chicago, we can say it. And we can say, I even like the hot dog with the coleslaw on it, right? Sometimes this is a little bit outside of the things that we were taught originally when we're growing up, but we can expand our minds to believe this. Now, but think about that as a flip-flop. What if we said, you can't, if you don't put ketchup on your hot dog, you can't like the ketchup with the coleslaw, or the corn dog on a stick with the breading? That seems a little more exclusionary, right? So think about different things like that as you go through the summer, and hopefully get to explore the world and see things that are different than you see usually. And think about how you accept those things. Do you try it? You can try it and not have to like it. Not everybody likes everything they try, but we can be accepting and respect everybody's different positions, because we are all unique and we all add to the greater community of our small pilgrim community, our North Center community, our Chicago community, and the world. So thank you for joining this final virtual Sunday school. I hope this was helpful for you. And I would like to ask you to participate in two things over the summer. One is our photo challenge filled with the Holy Spirit. And all we're asking is for you to snap some pictures and send them in to me. And I'm going to make a photo collage that we can see when we all get back together in the fall. And we're just looking for things like, yesterday we saw a cloud that looked like Jesus. We've seen helpers in action. We've done some things to help. Take pictures of all of those things, send them in to us to stay connected. And then second, we are doing a virtual Vacation Bible School this year, and that will be the week of August 10th. So keep your eyes open for more information about that. And in the meantime, have a wonderful summer. May you be filled with the Holy Spirit, and we look forward to coming together again in the fall.